You know, most people live their lives trapped in invisible cages, cages built not by walls or chains, but by comfort. Comfort is seductive. It whispers to you, stay here, it's safe. Don't risk it. Don't push too far. And you listen. You stay small. You settle. But let me tell you something. Every moment you cling to that comfort, every time you choose safety over growth, a part of you dies. Your dreams shrink. Your potential fades. Life isn't meant to be safe. It's meant to be lived with fire in your veins, with your heart pounding in the face of what scares you the most. Fear is not the enemy. It is the compass pointing directly to where you need to go. Your comfort zone is comfortable only until it kills your ambition, your vision, your very sense of what's possible. The question is, will you stay where you are and fade into the background, or will you step forward, embrace the uncertainty, and discover the extraordinary life waiting for you just beyond the edge of fear? Growth begins at the edge of your comfort zone, and yet most people spend their entire lives avoiding that edge as if it were a cliff they cannot cross. They stay in routines that feel safe, jobs that feel secure, relationships that feel predictable, thinking that comfort is the same as security. But here's the truth. Comfort is a subtle killer. It lulls you into a false sense of safety while quietly shrinking your potential, slowly eroding your dreams, your energy, and your excitement for life. Every day that you choose to stay in what feels easy, you are choosing to trade the extraordinary for the ordinary. You are choosing smallness over greatness, mediocrity over mastery. You may not notice it immediately, but over months and years, that choice compounds, and suddenly you realize that you are living a life that is far beneath what you are capable of. The problem is that comfort feels good in the short term. It protects you from fear, it cushions you from risk, and it keeps you from feeling the sting of failure. But here's the paradox. Those very experiences, risk, challenge, failure, are exactly what create growth, what expand your abilities, and what shape you into someone capable of achieving more than you ever thought possible. The people who break through the ordinary are not lucky or naturally gifted. They are the ones who have stepped out when it hurt, when it scared them, when every part of them wanted to retreat back into the familiar. Growth is uncomfortable because growth is a process of stretching, of tearing the boundaries that limit you, and of confronting the doubts that whisper in your mind that you're not enough. And yet, those moments of discomfort, those edges, are where life actually begins. That edge is where you discover resilience you didn't know you had. It's where you uncover strength you didn't know existed. It's where you realize that the world doesn't define you. Your choices define you. When you dare to step to the edge of your comfort zone, you create momentum. Momentum that propels you past hesitation, past fear, past the lies your mind tells you about who you are and what you can achieve. And yes, it's terrifying, but there is a thrill in terror that only comes from living fully, from embracing life without the safety net of certainty. Every challenge you accept, outside your comfort zone, every risk you take, every action that feels too big or too bold is a declaration that you will not settle for less than your potential. Growth does not happen in the shallow waters of routine. It happens in the deep, in the waves of discomfort, in the currents that threaten to knock you down. But if you remain in the calm, if you never push, if you never risk, then you will never know what you are truly capable of. You will never know the power, the strength, the joy, and the fulfillment that comes from reaching beyond the limits you once thought were immovable. Fear and resistance are not enemies. They are signals. They are the universe's way of telling you that you are standing at the threshold of your next breakthrough, that you are on the verge of discovering a new level of power, capability, and freedom. Yet most people hear fear and immediately retreat. They feel that quickened heartbeat, that knot in the stomach, that voice whispering, "This is too risky. You can't do it," and they step back into safety. But what if I told you that the exact moment you feel that fear is the moment that matters most? What if I told you that leaning into that discomfort, that pushing forward while your mind screams stop, is precisely how you grow, evolve, and transform? Resistance is proof that you are alive, proof that you are stretching, proof that you are challenging the limits of what you thought possible. Every great achievement, every monumental success, every breakthrough in history was preceded by fear. Every inventor, entrepreneur, athlete, artist, and leader faced moments of doubt, anxiety, and uncertainty, but they refused to let that stop them. They saw resistance not as a barrier, but as a guidepost, a signpost pointing directly toward opportunity, toward expansion, toward what they were meant to become. Fear signals importance. It signals that what lies ahead matters deeply to you, that it will change you if you step into it. And the truth is, if you never feel that fear, if you never experience resistance, then what you are pursuing probably isn't worth the effort. Resistance is like a weightlifting bar. The heavier it feels, the more your muscles grow, the stronger you become, the more capable you are for the next challenge. The key is not to avoid it, but embrace it, to harness it, to move through it with courage and determination. Every step forward through fear strengthens your confidence, reshapes your mindset, and expands your sense of possibility. And here's the remarkable part. Once you take that step, once you lean into that resistance, you realize that fear is temporary, but the lessons, the growth, and the momentum you create last a lifetime. The mind will always resist change because it wants comfort, predictability, and security. But your spirit, your potential, your purpose, and your greatness lie on the other side of that resistance. You must learn to listen to the fear without letting it control you. You must learn to act in spite of the resistance, not because it's gone, but because you have decided that your life, your dreams, and your growth are far more important than the temporary discomfort of stepping into the unknown. Fear is not a stop sign. It is a green light flashing urgently, calling you to move forward, to break through, to rise above, and to claim the life, the success, and the fulfillment that are waiting for you if you dare to take that step. Real power begins the moment you stop blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck for where you are in life and take full responsibility for every aspect of your journey. Too many people wait for permission to succeed, for someone to hand them the key, for life to finally give them a break. And while they wait, life continues without them. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. Your destiny is yours to claim, and the only person who can do it is you. Responsibility is not a burden, it is the gateway to freedom. When you take ownership of your choices, your actions, and your results, you suddenly stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the architect of your life. And let me tell you something. Power doesn't come from waiting for perfect conditions, from wishing for things to change, or from blaming the world. Real power comes from deciding in this very moment that you will no longer settle for less than what you are capable of. It comes from saying, I will shape my own destiny. I will refuse to let fear, doubt, or comfort hold me back. When you embrace responsibility, you step into the realm of action. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You recognize solutions where others see problems. And most importantly, you develop the courage to act, even when the path is uncertain, even when the stakes are high, and even when failure is possible. That is where true strength lies. Not in avoiding challenges, but in facing them head-on with determination and unwavering commitment. People who achieve greatness understand this principle deeply. They understand that waiting for life to hand them what they want is a trap. They understand that real control is earned, not given. And they understand that the moment they stop making excuses, the moment they stop blaming the past, the moment they claim full responsibility, they unlock a power that changes everything. Momentum builds, confidence grows, and doors that seem closed begin to open. The greatest leaders, creators, and achievers are not those who are luckiest. They are those who refuse to allow circumstances to define them. They are those who embraced the hard truths, confronted their fears, and acted decisively. And here's the lesson. If you want to break free from mediocrity, if you want to surpass limitations, if you want to live a life of purpose and fulfillment, you must make this decision now. You must refuse to settle for less. You must refuse to give your power away to excuses, fears, or anyone else. You must step fully into responsibility, and in doing so, take control of your future, because power is not give. Power is claimed. Moment by moment, choice by choice, and action by action. And when you claim it, when you finally refuse to shrink, when you finally refuse to let comfort dictate your life, you awaken a force within yourself that is unstoppable. Action, even imperfect action, is the only antidote to stagnation. Too many people spend their lives planning, overthinking, waiting for the right moment, as if life's opportunities will politely wait for them to be ready. And while they wait, time slips through their fingers, dreams fade, and potential is wasted. Waiting for perfect conditions is a trap. It is a form of self-sabotage disguised as prudence. The truth is, no one ever feels completely ready to take the leap into greatness, and yet every person who has achieved extraordinary results has taken action despite fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Action is what transforms vision into reality. It is the engine that propels dreams from the realm of imagination into the tangible, living, breathing world. Action is messy, it is uncomfortable, and it often comes with failure. But it is also the one thing that consistently separates those who live fully from those who simply exist. You do not need every detail figured out. You do not need a perfect plan or a flawless strategy. You need movement. You need the courage to start, to experiment, to stumble, and to learn along the way. Every step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates clarity, and clarity allows you to take even bigger, bolder steps. Think about it. If you wait until everything is perfect, you will wait forever. Life is not designed to accommodate hesitation. Life rewards the bold, the persistent, and the proactive. It rewards those who refuse to let fear dictate their pace, who choose motion over inertia, who understand that failure is not the opposite of progress, but a part of progress itself. Each attempt, each effort, each act of courage, no matter how imperfect, teaches you, shapes you, and propels you forward. And here's the most powerful truth. Action breeds inspiration. Waiting breeds doubt. Movement creates clarity, while stagnation creates confusion. The people who transform their lives are those who understand this principle intuitively. They understand that the energy of doing, of trying, of showing up consistently multiplies itself in ways that planning alone cannot achieve. Action generates results, and results generate more action, creating a cycle of growth that no amount of waiting or hesitation can replicate. So, you must decide today that you will no longer let fear, perfectionism, or indecision hold you back. You must embrace the messy, imperfect, exhilarating process of doing, because in the act of doing, you discover your strength, your creativity, your resilience, and your ability to overcome any obstacle. Every breakthrough, every achievement, every life-changing moment is born not from waiting, but from stepping forward, even when the path is unclear, even when the outcome is uncertain, even when you are unsure of your own abilities. Action is the great equalizer. It does not wait for permission, it does not ask for readiness, and it does not discriminate. It rewards courage, persistence, and commitment, and it is the force that transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Every challenge, every risk, and every discomfort is not something to avoid. It is a stepping stone toward mastery, freedom, and fulfillment. Life has a way of testing you, of pushing you against walls, of placing obstacles directly in your path. And yet, too many people spend their lives dodging these challenges, thinking that avoiding pain and struggle will somehow make life easier. But the truth is, ease never creates greatness. Comfort never builds resilience. Safety never leads to extraordinary achievement. The moments that scare you, that push you to your limits, that demand more than you think you have, are the exact moments that define who you become. Each challenge is an opportunity, a lesson, and a door to a higher level of capability. When you face difficulty head-on, you expand your capacity for strength, courage, and endurance. When you take risks, even when the outcome is uncertain, you train yourself to trust your instincts, to sharpen your judgment, and to discover talents you never knew existed. Discomfort is a teacher, and mastery is a reward for those willing to endure its lessons. The people who reach the top, who live lives filled with impact, achievement, and purpose, are not those who avoided the hard moments. They are the ones who embraced them, who leaned into the pressure, who refused to shrink back when life demanded more. Every obstacle becomes a stepping stone when you shift your perspective. Every failure becomes feedback. Every rejection becomes redirection, and every setback becomes a setup for something greater. Freedom is not found in the absence of struggle. It is found in the courage to face it and rise above it. Fulfillment is not discovered in comfort. It is earned through effort, persistence, and the willingness to venture into the unknown. And here's the critical point. Every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you take action despite fear, every time you risk and endure, you are building a life that cannot be taken from you. You are accumulating experiences, wisdom, and resilience that make you unshakable. You are stepping into the version of yourself that is capable, confident, and unstoppable. The world rewards those who act boldly, who persist through adversity, and who refuse to allow temporary pain to dictate the trajectory of their lives. And make no mistake, this is not easy. It is not effortless. It demands courage, determination, and a relentless belief in your potential. But the payoff is profound. Every challenge you embrace expands your freedom. Every risk you take increases your power. Every moment of discomfort becomes an investment in the life you are building. If you want to achieve mastery, If you want to live fully, if you want to feel truly alive, you must stop running from the very experiences that make you stronger. You must step toward them, embrace them, and transform them into the fuel for your growth. Because it is only when you confront the edges, the risks, and the discomforts of life that you discover the extraordinary within yourself, and it is only by doing so that you can live a life that is limitless in its possibilities.